Hi guys and girls, John Moore with you again. I'm going to do a full inbox review on the Soviet IT-1 missile tank from Trumpeter in 135 scale. I know I kind of already introduced it, did a quick opening of the box, didn't proper look at the sprues and things. This time we'll give a proper inbox review. Right, so let's start. What is it? Soviet IT-1 missile tank. It was a Cold War tank from the sort of 60s, 70s. It was based on the T-62 hull, lower hull. They changed out the turret obviously and stuck in a ton of guidance equipment. Apparently 520 kilos of the stuff was pumped into that yoke. It fired the 3 M7 Drakon missile, which is this jobby up here. It was popped down inside now. They came up to the thing that these things loaded up and fired. There's some lovely videos on YouTube on the missile system on this tank. There's absolutely no info whatsoever on the Trumpeter or any other model of it. So this, I think, is going to be the first. I haven't found one. If somebody else has seen one, just let me know. Anyway, more about this thing. This is before we open the box. Very limited service between 1968 and 1970. It was done away with. Really, then they'd realised that the troops didn't like it. It had a large dead zone around it. It could only carry a limited number of missiles, so therefore it was very impractical. The military didn't like it themselves at all, and eventually they were just converted into recovery vehicles. And to date there are only 2 left in existence. Both of those are in Russian museums, and there's very, very, very limited photographs of them, and apparently 2 of them, both are slightly different. The 2 of them that are in existence aren't exactly identical. So for info, I literally have to go by believe what Trumpeter are telling me, and it's accurate. Okay, let's have a look and see what's in the box. Sorry, its model number is 05541. 05541, in case you think of you might want to order it for yourself. So let's have a look inside. Like I said, I've had it for about 2 weeks now. You'll see that I haven't touched it. They're all still in their plastics. Steve's build starts on Tuesday. Today it's Sunday afternoon now, so I'm just doing an open box and a quick talk of it, because I know that Tuesday is going to be flooded with videos. So I'm going to just talk about this now. Okay, it's just got your basic info. Read instructions before assembly. Don't cut yourself. Don't stick your face to the table. Apply decals to the model, not to everything else. Sprue layouts, unused parts, and then into the assembly. And I like the fact that it's a stapled booklet form, which is handy. I do prefer the booklet form than the pull-out one. Nice step-by-step, nicely laid out. Not too much info on the one. On each segment, they're not bombarding you with stuff to put on, which is good, I suppose, in one way. And when I turn the next page, you'll understand why I'm saying good, I suppose, in one way. My biggest fear when I started this model was this part here. Individual track links. I'm not a lover of them. I've never done them before. It kind of scares the willy bejesus out of me. So I said, I'll do it anyway. And I came onto the instructions. I had looking through the instructions and, right, how do I do these tracks? How do I do these tracks? And I said, oh look, there's the instructions on how to do the tracks. That is it. That is all they give you on doing the tracks. I'm not joking you. Look, there's step 3, putting on your suspension arms, and the wheels. That's all in step 3. Suspension arms and pop on the wheels that we've already made. Then it comes up, track installation. There you go. And then your tracks are on, ta-da. nothing on how to assemble your tracks for a person that hasn't done them. Know how many you need, or count them out yourself. I'm sorry, but I've heard of bad instructions. That is definitely the worst I have ever seen. In other words, make that. How many of these do you need? Because they're all individuals. It's not a case of this is one piece. These are individual pieces, and this is a piece. You know, I've done one of those, all right. The Academy King Tiger had that section ones, and you only need a small few to attach on. I wouldn't call them individual tracks, whatever they are called. But anyway, excuse me. I didn't like that. I don't like that. I've had to look up a couple of videos and things. I think I'll get there now. I think I have the idea now. But I did have to go off and check the internet, check other people's things on how to make tracks. And I didn't actually get one on Trumpeter, but I got one on Dragon and this, that and the other and a few more. And I've looked at the tracks and the track links, and they look... I'm confident enough I'll get it. We'll give it a go anyway. Sure, why not? What can happen? I can get a slap of a hammer. Anyway, the rest of the instructions, like I said, quite simple. Nothing too much on each page. A lot on this page, all right, with the turret, but even at that, there isn't that much. It's not that confusing. Like I said, I've been through it. I've been through it with a fine-tooth comb, especially after finding that thing with the tracks. That annoyed me. We've got our coloured printed sheet with the colours and colour callouts. Colour callouts are in Vallejo, Model Master, Tamiya and Humbrol. Unusually they're giving Tamiya paints. That's not for a Trumpeter. Yeah, anyway. Spoke about that in the last one, and we got our little advertising sheet. So right, let's get down to the sprues. And what we do is we put the box. Alright, we've got our PE fret. Looks quite nice, don't want to go touching it. And we've got our clear parts. When it comes to decals, decals, transfer stickers, there are none. So therefore won't be mentioned anymore. We've got our tub. So we'll just put the box aside for a second. We'll put it up there. And we'll take these out one by one. And we'll have a look and see what's inside in them. No staples, so Simon Kemp, you don't have to worry about staples, you don't have to go removing them beforehand. You have to work with a sharp knife though, so be careful. Alright. Now, here's a nice idea as well that I haven't seen on many kits. To be honest with you, I haven't seen on any kits. It's the little bit of foam protection around sensitive parts so they don't go rubbing off each other or whatever. Must be a sensitive piece in here. We'll just have to have a look. It's not an inbox review unless you review it and see what is under it here. I mean, it won't be getting bumped. Oh, right. Very nice indeed. Yeah, we've got a little bit of extra protection around these small pieces, which is brilliant. So in transit, you should get it in pretty good nick. So, excuse me bumping the camera there, but you can see there, the detail is actually quite nice, quite crisp. I'm not seeing any flash. We've opened one, so let's open the second one. Another little bit of protecting film. Gone. And that was protecting that little piece there and a little bit of spare track. Which is a nice little idea. I'm sure each of us have got models in the past with a broken piece inside in it. It's rare, but it does happen, and people's pieces kind of scratch off each other, little bits of detail get broken off. That's often happened. So that's a nice little addition, a bit of extra protection, shall we say? Sort of a condom for your model. All right, next sprues. Seem to have sort of pieces for the side hull, hatches, front fender, mudguard, whatever you want to call it. I suppose it depends on which side of the channel you're on. Not the channel, but the ocean. We call them mudguards, the Americans call them fenders. Same thing. Anyway, no, that's a gun mantlet, so that's probably off the T62. I guarantee you that will be a piece that's not used. I've got a thing there that's got a lot of texture on it. I don't know what it is. Anyway, as you can see, the parts are nicely moulded. Loads of little detail and things on it. Very, very, very little flash. Anything this is there, you could kind of clean it off quite easily. I think that's a bit of flash, I don't know. We'll see. Although, no, I don't think it is because it's on there as well. Never cut it off without checking the instructions. I did that before. Cut off what I was convinced was a piece of flash, and what it was one of these little things here. You know, I'd often problems then trying to fit the piece because the little guide rail that I thought was with a flash, I decided to remove. That's just by not checking the instructions beforehand. That's what they say, to check your instructions. It's not just a handy tip, it's a kind of a basic thing that you learn in time, and when you're starting off you have a kind of a tendency to rush things and rush through the instructions, and you know, even though you think you're taking your time, you're not. You're still flying through and you go, oh, damn. Anyway, let's get on with this and stop rabbiting. That's the upper hull section. We've got another, what appears to be a muzzle brake. Not muzzle brake, but why do my brain always stop when I'm doing the videos? Thing for a gun. Panels, they're quite nice. Let's have a look at the back of them and see about ejector pin marks. Oh my god, they're everywhere. They are everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. If you're one of these people that ejector marks annoy you, even ones that can't be seen, you're going to be rightly miffed, shall we say, with this one, because it's just full of ejector pin marks. Not going to bother me because they're not going to be seen. They're all on the inside, and they don't bother me in the slightest. There's only ones that, you know, you kind of get a glimpse of if you turn the model a certain way. They've got to be filled. And, you know, it's just one of those things that has to be done. Right, let's have a look at some of these smaller ones. This is the outer wheels for the 4 sprues of this. Road wheels. What I want to see now is with these are supposed to be the road wheels. I just put 3 of them away. I only need to look at one. Right, there they are. Now, let's see, is there any detail on them? Oh, there is. I was looking for a finer thread. There is. It's there, all right. They're it's kind of a block thread, as opposed to your ordinary ribbed thread. They're kind of blocks. It's there, and doesn't seem to be any. No, there's no seam line. It's just cleaning off these here. Hope you get a nice thing that you don't sort of take the detail out of them. It's there. The thread detail is on them. They are what they are, I suppose. Right. Next one. Have a look. Right, we get out our block again so we can see. As we've got a hatch. That appears, I'd say it's on the back of the tank. We've got, I'd say, the photo etch grill going behind there. Nicely detailed, nice rivets around the side. I don't know whether you can see them or not. If I give it a little bit of a tilt, give it a bit of an angle, yeah, you can just about make them out. See that? The rivet detail along the edge there is quite nice. Plastic seems quite nice, actually. It does. It's soft, a bit softer than the IBG stuff, but still seems okay. It's when I get onto these parts here, these skinny parts, I hate cutting them off because I've a habit of breaking them, and then you're trying to fix them and they look ugly, and even though you can repair it and people can't see it. I did it on one or two of my models and broke little pieces, and I know it's there and I know it's repaired and I can see the repair, and I don't like it, and it kind of ruins it a bit. And I don't know, it bothers me, shall we say, breaking a piece on the sprue, and even though you can repair them, and an invisible repair, it does, I do get miffed over it. Don't know why. I suppose it shouldn't really bother me, but it does. Like I said, the detail is quite nice. There's nothing really more you can say about it. Even on these, I think they're wheel caps. There's a nice bit of rivets around there. Very, very, very little flashes, of tiny little bits. See, no, I haven't found any really bad seam lines or anything either. We'll turn it over. See the ejector pin marks, they're sort of bloody everywhere. It's sort of 4 or 5 on that. These ones now, alright, have an ejector pin mark on each of these. And I know what these are. They're little kind of, they go onto the hull. I saw it in the instruction. They go on here to the hull part here. They fit into a little, you can see that the groove is there for them. So, no, that is going to be that way. They're going to be that. So they're going, yeah, you're not going to see them. But, as an experience, I might just give them an old fill and sanding, just in case they can be seen. So, it's a little bit to do. It's not going to kill me. I mean, this is one of those long-term projects. I'll probably get about 2 or 3 models done in the meantime before this one is finished. Because I'm going to do with this is I'm going to do kind of an hour or 2 a week on it. I know it sounds silly, but I mean it's there till January, and the way I normally build, if I just say just start to finish, I'd have it done and finished, painted the whole lot in a week and a half. And that's it, over and done with. So I'm going to drag this one out. I got some more models on the way, so that'll keep me busy, and I can fiddle with this one and that one here and there. So I can really take my time on this, because I know that the tracks are going to take me forever, because I want to do a little tiny bit more research on them. Anyway, let's get back onto this. We've got some more hatches here. Probably guidance for the missile system. We've got the Dragon missile itself, or Drakon. Some people call it Dragon, some people call it Drakon. And we've got the turret. Look how flat that is. If I just, there we go. The silhouette of that is absolutely tiny. I can see where they were coming with the idea. Really low slung tank missile system, then pops up from inside, fires away, can zoom back down again, and it's really low profile. Great idea, but practicality, they didn't need a main battle tank as its base, to be quite honest with you. Now with their model, I mean the Americans had the similar system now, and it's mounted on a Humvee. Now I know this is back in 1968, 1970 when Humvees weren't around and the technology was only just developing. And you know, that's how they learned. They put it on this and said, but that didn't work. Back to the drawing board, and they come up with better solutions. But this is one of those before the drawing board models, which is rare, which is nice. And the fact that I couldn't find a single proper review on pieces and things like that in it. I mean, the moulding is absolutely lovely in that. Absolutely lovely. And there we go with all our ejector pin markings again. But like I said, they're all on the insides, and anything that is shown, there is no pin mark. No, not that I can see. I won't know anymore until, you know, start construction. Then I'll probably find loads of them everywhere and have to eat my words. Right, we've got 2 packets of sprues for a finish. They're both tracks, so I'll open one. It's pointless opening both of them because they're identical. And there's 7 sprues altogether of track pieces. Let's put these away. Now let's have a look at this. Tracks apparently seem to be the bone of contention with every armour maker. Nobody likes the rubber tracks. I like the rubber tracks. But anyway, nobody seems to like the rubber tracks, and everybody's not buying frule tracks and God knows what else. So let's see what these look like. Now we've got loads of extra bits of plastic to clean up. Now I have a sneaky suspicion. I don't know yet. I won't know till Tuesday, till I start. And I think I will start on the tracks first, play around with them for a bit. And I have this sneaky suspicion that they look very, very like, I don't know, can't remember what make it is. When I was looking through the YouTube clips on different track types and things, I think it was with the Meng Bradley. The tracks are similar to that, and they kind of clip together with a sort of a divot on the inside thing and a kind of a nipple on the outside piece. And they... Now, if that was the case, then yippee, all my fears gone away with. If it's not the case, then back to the drawing board. I seem to like the drawing board. Things get drawn on the drawing board. But anyway, let's get back to these. Let's have a look at the detail on these. Now, I'm not a track expert. Far from it. Far from any kind of expert, to be quite honest with you. But they look quite nice and quite detailed, I must say. And there are no ejector pin markings on the back of them. I know that with the Tamiya Panther tracks, was it Brett G got them, and there was a little ejector pin mark on each piece of it. But yet when you go into the model and the spare track it gives you, which is the same thing, it didn't have the ejector pin markings. And you know, they can do it for one, but they can't do it for the other. But this seems to have that little extra piece sticking out of it, and that's where the ejector pin markings are, which is cool. So there's no ejector pin markings, not a one on the actual track links themselves, which is very good. The horns, they're not a hollow horn, but then again, I don't know whether they're supposed to be a hollow horn or not, so I do not know. Somebody who knows anything about the T62, which this is based on, so it's the same tracks, obviously. I will be doing more research. I mean, I've done my research on the IT-1. Now I got to go off and do some research on the T62, because my research is kind of I suppose I should have done it before I did this. Anyway, I do like, I'm it's quality, quality, like I said, I don't know until I make it, but for moulding and all that kind of stuff, very nice indeed. And for a finish off, the last piece is the tub, or the skip. I'll have a look and see what that looks like. Looks like a skip, doesn't it? Anyway, and what a skip is, for anybody who doesn't know, is a big steel rubbish container that they block outside your house if you're doing any reconstruction work and things like that. In Ireland, and I think in England, they're just called a skip. Anyway, there's our tub. Some nice detail on the bottom, I must say. No pin marks or anything, although there's one there which can be filled as, you know, a little ejector mark.